Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for your excellent support and also your following and love towards my podcast. So, every time I'm going to discuss about health, education, and lifestyle related topics. So, as a part of my podcast series, today we are going to discuss one more important topic that is related to our brain. So, when I was thinking about the functioning of our brain, most of the people think that if we are aging, then we cannot learn new things. So maybe you might be interested in learning a guitar at the age of 60, or else you want to learn a new kind of programming language at the age of 70. So these things might be like looking new, but are we really trying this? Are we fine tuning our brain? So that makes a lot of difference in our lifestyle, and definitely we'll be having a very good control on our whole body when if we control our brain. So on that thought process, I was researching, and luckily I could come across Dr. Meenal, who is today's guest, and she is having lot of expertise in this area. She has done her MD in geriatric medicine from All India Institute of Medical Sciences, that is AIIMS, which is highly prestigious institute, and she is very much into this elderly care related activities, and she is highly enthusiastic. And thank you so much, Dr. Meenal, for accepting my invitation and sparing your valuable time. I know how much you are busy. Even then, you have accepted it. So, on that very positive note, as today's topic is very, very interesting, that is related to fine tuning our brain. So, I request you all to listen to this entire podcast from beginning to ending, and do share your valuable comments. If you really like it, please like it, and also do repost it in your networks so that everybody will come to know about this innovative topic. So on that positive note, I want to start this session. So Dr. Meenal, thank you so much for joining our podcast, and so can you please introduce yourself to my audience?
Thank you for such a gracious introduction. Hello, everyone. I'm Dr. Meenal Thakral, and I'm a geriatrician currently working at Artemis Hospital, Gurgaon. And I did my MD in geriatric medicine from All India Institute of Medical Sciences. And I have been practicing geriatrics for around 6 to 7 years now. It's such a delightful profession. And I'm so happy that I am always surrounded by older adults which are full of wisdom and their own stories. And it's um, amazing to work with them. And I'm so glad that I'm here with you because you're so passionate about how the public should be aware of the things, and you're conducting such brilliant podcasts and finding out really nice topics to talk on. Thank you for having me here.
Most welcome, Dr. Meenal. Thank you so much for your presence today. And definitely, the knowledge you are going to provide us will be very, very helpful to us, because nowadays we are all struggling with so many health related issues. Among them, one is the most concern is all about our brain. If we control our brain, definitely everything is going to be in control. So on that pointer, I wanted to ask you, Dr. Meenal, so what is neuroplasticity, and how does it truly continue beyond the age of 60?
Right. So neuroplasticity is it's the brain's ability to like reorganize itself so that it can adapt and change and form new neural connections throughout life. So while it is very pronounced in childhood, older adults also retain a lot of neuroplasticity. Although its rate and efficiency is a little off, but then if we describe it in very simple terms, suppose we are going from one place to the other and we use roads for that. So our brains have that kind of road maps, which are called neural connections. So there are synapses which form neural connections, and these circuits help relay the information within the brain. So if we keep going from one same path every day, then we the path becomes really smooth. Now we know the path, we reach faster. But if at the same time we want to use a different path, either we'll construct a new road to that path, one, and then after the road is constructed, then we'll use that path to reach the destination, but that will take time. So that's what neuroplasticity means. Like if you're learning a new hobby, you're creating a new path. That's why it takes a little bit of time. But then if you're doing your routine works, which you have been doing for very long, they are easy. They take less of time because the neural connections are fast. So when we talk about neuroplasticity, we are talking about it in three different ways. One is the structural neuroplasticity, wherein we make new neurons. The other one is the functional neuroplasticity, wherein we are working on the connections. That there are more connections, there are faster connections, faster relaying of the information. And the third part is suppose some part of the brain is damaged, but we want that function to happen. So brain strategically puts some of that function to the healthy brain part. So it relocates its function to some healthy portion of the part. That is also a part of neuroplasticity that happens. So neuroplasticity happens at so many levels in the brain, and it starts from childhood. It's very active in the childhood. That's why kids learn very quickly to walk, their vocabulary builds at a very small amount of time. It keeps on going as we age, but it never stops or never halts. Although its rate and efficiency is little altered when we are above 60, but it never stops.
Okay. So, Dr. Meenal, I wanted to know, like, the brain's ability to form new
Right.
connections, will it decline by age?
So when as we age, the ability to form new connections slow down, but the it's about the rate that it happens. The rate declines, but the capacity remains. So it's never like the neuroplasticity will halt or will not happen or the connections will not form now. The rate at which it will form, that rate declines, the speed slows, but then the capacity remains. It doesn't mean that it will not happen, but it happen at a slower rate. That's all.
Okay. So, I wanted to know, like, the older people, will they be able to learn new things like the teenagers or adults can learn? So, is their brain having that
Of
capability?
course, yes, it does. So it's a really good question. It so it doesn't. It's not like it'll work same as a 20-year-old. Although it doesn't apply to all older adults. There's some older adults who are very active, uh, uh, including their brain. The brain is also very active, and they have their cognition and the memory intact, and even better than the old young people. Those are called super agers, and so it doesn't. So everything is not journalized, and it doesn't apply to all. But then most of the cases, yes, that the neuroplasticity does continue beyond the age of 60. That being said, the speed slows. That being said, everybody and anybody after a certain age can learn a new skill, can develop a new hobby, and then, as you said, can learn a guitar, can learn piano from scratch, can learn sketching, can learn drawing, painting, any hobby you name it, can learn a new language, and they should do all this, because these are like mental exercises. Like we exercise for our muscles, we go to the gym, do the weights, stay at home, do resistive training, walk. It's like walking for our brain. When we are learning new skills, when we are doing new hobbies, it's like exercises for the brain. And that's how we train our brain. We do all these mental exercises, cognitive exercises that result in building new connections. And of course, these connections are built. All it requires is persistence, motivation, and an inner zeal to do it. So if they want to do it, of course, all the older adults, and they should do it, all the older adults can learn new skills. It might take them a little more time than the younger adults, but that is all. It's just a matter of little bit more time and nothing else. And but the persistent part, if it remains, of course, they can always learn whatever a younger adult can learn, an older adult can learn.
That's very good to know. And I wanted to know, like, which activities are proven to boost neuroplasticity in adults over 60 aged people.
Sorry, I didn't get your question.
So I was trying to know that which activities are proven to boost
Okay,
neuroplasticity in adults over 60.
right.
So what are those activities that boost the
Right.
neuroplasticity?
So there are multiple activities that work on neuroplasticity. One of them being the physical activity. Walking, as simple as walking, increases your cognitive capacity, is a known fact. So an average dose of 8,000 steps per day has shown in several studies that it increases your cognitive skills. So even if you're doing just walking at a regular pace and counting your steps, that also increases a brain derived natriuretic factor in your body, and that chemical enhances your cognitive ability. Along with the physical activity, which has all other four domains, wherein one is just walking, then you can do cardio, then you can also do resistive training, wherein you are using increasing your muscle strength, and also yoga, tai chi, the balance training part of the physical activity. All these physical activities have shown a link and shown proven benefit in increasing your memory and increasing your cognitive capacity and increasing the neuroplasticity at all ages, and especially after, even after 60 years of age, if you work on your physical activity, it is definitely going to give you a benefit at your cognitive capacity. Then the second thing that can help you, or the activities that can help you, are social engagement, wherein uh, you are involved with other people, you do voluntary work, you do group activities, wherein previously our older generation used to sit in the evenings, talk over a cup of tea. All these are neural enhancing activities, right? And along, they also increase your emotional strength, which is also associated. The mood is very closely associated with cognition. So once your mood is improved, your mood remains enhanced, then your cognitive capacity remains supported, right? So one of the most common causes of fallen memory or forgetfulness is either anxiety or depression, which we also know call as pseudo dementia. So, when we do social engagements, wherein we are sitting in a group or doing voluntary work, or we are also doing any kind of intergenerational bonding, wherein the grandchildren are being taken care of by grandparents, and vice versa, wherein the knowledge exchange takes place, wherein the wisdom is shared and the new tech things are shared by the grandchildren, and the grandparents have a lot of wisdom stories to tell. So when these intergenerational bonding happens, they they foster a very they foster a lot of confidence in the older adults, and also the knowledge transaction that's been happening, that is not comparable to any other source of knowledge that a grandchild can get. But then, other than that, it is a two-way process, and it helps both the generations, wherein they are supported by the confidence of the grandchildren, and also uh, a lot of new technology and new skills are also given by the grandchildren to the grandparents, right? So there is new skill learning also, and also they're passing their own wisdom. So all these kind of small little social interactions happening throughout the day or throughout the life form a very important component of cognitive rehab, right? And then along with this, sleep and nutrition, these activity, sleep is of utmost importance. When we were talking about the roads as a metaphor, you know in sleep what happens, they clean the roads. So, and you find the roads very smooth the next day. But if you're not sleeping, any kind of lack of sleep or sleeping disturbance that older adults feel should be addressed immediately, because otherwise, what happens? They'll be sleep deprived, and then slowly and steadily it will reflect in their executive functions, in their memory, in their day to day living, because of the foggy brain, or because it's a known fact that what happens while you sleep, your all the lymphatic channels and all the um, neural connections are, your brain is getting cleared out of the toxins while you are sleeping. So if your sleep is not healthy, then these toxins remain in the brain, and then later keep accumulating and cause plaques, and has been linked to which has been linked to Alzheimer's disease, later causing dementia and forgetfulness in long term. So, sleep, nutrition, physical activities, learning new skills, and social engagement, all these activities are very, very important to keep building the neuroplasticity.
Yes, that is very good to know, Dr. Meenal. So here I wanted to know, can we fine tune our cognitive abilities, like using the brain apps, brain fine tuning apps, or might be solving puzzles? So are these mind exercises definitely help us?
Right. So, it's an amazing question. So, when we talk about neuroplasticity or memory or cognitive function in general, there are a lot of domains that are involved in this. It's not so when we talk about the cognitive function of a person, there is a domain called memory. Then your attention is involved. Then your visual spatial memory is involved. Then all these areas and all these your language area is involved, so all these domains, they work in coherence to navigate you through life, right? And it is not always all of them go diminished. Sometimes we work on some kind of area. Some people have a memory loss wherein just the memory domain is affected. Some people have a memory loss because their attention is affected. So, what the good point about these these brain games and the brain apps that you're talking about, they have domain-specific exercises. So, if you're deficient in attention, you if you do a lot more of attention domain exercises, that is going to help you build your attention span, right? And if you're lagging in your memory, then if you do a lot of memory training exercises, it will help you enhance that part of your brain, right? There is evidence based. There are few evidence based studies that have found the role of apps in cognitive rehab or neuroplasticity, but they don't act solely. Like if you're just doing the app, that's not the only thing that's going to work, unless and until you plug it with some physical activity, some nutrition, some social engagement. So it's a combo pack. It will not work alone. It works, but it will not work alone. And also, The other thing that matters with the apps is the consistency part of it. So if you're doing the app, it's great, but do it regularly. That means like at least 3 to 5 days a week you need to do it, and do it 15 to 30 minutes per day. So if you do it, and you can do it in bunches, like you don't have to completely sit on the app, but you can do it in segregated amount of time, but you do it regularly, then you will see a effect after 3 months, 4 months, that amount of time. But it is not something that you will do just one day and then you will find a result. You have to be very consistent with it, and you have to group it with all the other activities that we discussed a few seconds ago.
So, Dr. Meenal, people are talking about longevity
Yes.
nowadays. So, I have a doubt in this aspect. So, are we like having any kind of longevity related tips related to this brain fine tuning, making the cells very active, making the neurons very active, making the connections very active? Because nowadays I am seeing that people are talking about fine tuning our whole body by using the longevity tips and all. So, is there any area which is researching on this aspect as well?
Of course. So, as we're talking about longevity here, um, so longevity doesn't just means living longer. When we translate longevity to societal terms, it means that we want to live healthy, healthier, and longer. So if nobody
Yes.
wants to just live longer and be bedridden or be dependent. The goal has to be that they have to be healthy and aging well and then living longer, right? And enjoying their life. So longevity makes sense only when you're healthy age, then when you're following a track of healthy aging, right? And in terms of what we are discussing right now, uh, even with people who suffer from dementia, they live longer, right? But their quality of life deranges because of forgetfulness, and then slowly and steadily as dementia progresses, the activities of daily living are involved, and then they become dependent at the end of the day, right? So, and the things are not, some of the things are very very basic if we want to live longer and healthy, right? There are few domains that you need to just work upon and then keep striding on them and keep doing the work on them. Number one is your cognitive health. You have to work on your cognitive health. If you don't have your brain at the end of the day, then there is no matter how much number of years are you living, right? So that remains of the prime importance. And the things that help you have a healthy brain at the end of the day are the things, one being physical activity, which is very 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 important, wherein you count your steps, you do 8,000 steps per day minimum, right? And for 5 days a week minimum. And then you do your resistive trainings 3 days a week for around 30 minutes. Then you do cardio for 45 minutes 3 days a week, and you do balance training for 3 days a week. So this is a dosing chart that you need to follow, so that you're doing an optimum amount of physical activity as an older adult as well. It's not. It is for everybody who wants to age gracefully, be it you, be it me, be it anybody who's 60 year of age, right? And then comes the second part of it, wherein we are talking about the cognitive engagement, wherein we have to make our brain engaged, even if it is through executive functioning, meaning all our activities of daily living, right? So, what happens is some very, very basic things that people do, but they're doing it for so long that their brain has remained healthy. So, even if we talk to super agers or the people who have aged gracefully and have a very healthy brain, they follow a proper routine every day, right? People who are at 90 are still peeling the pea, taking out the pods out of the pea, right? These are executive skills. They're using the fine motor till the very end. They're washing their own clothes, you know. So there, the grip strength is maintained. You know, when they're washing their clothes, they're using their grip strength. Grip strength is very closely related to your mind, right? So these are very, very basic and very simple things that people have been doing. If they do their own work for a very long time, there are a lot of things that you do every day that is going to build your brain every day, right? Then comes meditation. One of the greatest factor that has also shown a lot of the researchers have shown that it increases gray matter, it increases your neural connections, it decreases anxiety, it decreases stress, it decreases depression, right? So there are so many benefits to just one act of it. Even if you're doing a box breathing or you're breathing exercises or you're just sitting in silence for like 5 minutes every day, that kind of boost is also very important for your mental health and your cognitive health, right? And then comes sleep. Sleep hygiene is very, very, very important, wherein you take a ample amount of 7 to 9 hours of sleep every day, wherein you follow that your screen time is less than before your sleeping time. Your screen time should not be there for at least 2 hours prior to your sleeping time, and you follow a certain pattern, a fixed amount of time every day that you sleep, and you address all your sleeping issues, right? And you follow sleep hygiene wherein you wash your hands, you wash your face, you wash your feet, and you apply some coconut oil or a moisturizer while you're sleeping. And you change into night clothes. These are few very, very basic things that are known as sleep hygiene that everybody should follow to have a good amount of sleep. Then comes then comes the social engagement that we've already discussed, which also enhances your mental capacity. Then comes reducing stress, which you can do, which reduces the cortisol and results in decrease in the cortisol insult that happens to the brain. So, which is another very important aspect of it. So, when we're talking about longevity, it doesn't come with just one thing. It comes with a lot of things, which is a package wherein all your domains have to be sorted out, and then you can live a longer life. And these are some of them are very, very, very basic things. So there's nothing which is very exotic that has to be coming out of somewhere and telling you that have this and you will live longer. But these are some of the very, very basic things that are already existing in a lot of our culture, even including diet. So we've got diet. Um, Wherein you take colorful food. You know, India is known for its culture, wherein it's a big plate of thali with a lot of small, small things, portions of things that have all kind of stuff, uh, ranging from carbohydrates, proteins, micronutrients, and covers a lot of things, right? So um, so which is very, very important, wherein you take your omega 3 fatty acids. It comes through fish, be it berries, which are good for longevity, and then olive oil. It's a proven thing that Mediterranean diet, mind diet, all these are proven diets that show benefit for your cognition as well as longevity. There are few tricks to it, wherein in our Indian culture we don't use olive oil that often. So this is something that has come from European countries. So what we do is uh, we should know the way of using the things and using the oil. It's not a cooking oil. They generally use it for dressing or over the top of pasta. That's how it should be used here also. But our Indian culture uses oils as a cooking medium. So so everything cannot be translated as per the research, because sometimes the researches have happened in like European countries or somewhere else. But there is enough uh, data to support them. But then when you're using it here, either use it the way they use it, or use stick to whatever oils you've been using, like coconut oil, which is also very good and known role in brain functioning, right? And then comes the other things wherein magnesium has shown a good role in brain building. Then vitamin D, B12, folate, all these rich nutrient foods that you take, they are also supporting your cognitive health, your brain function. And when you're talking about longevity, I think we've covered almost everything. There's one example that I would like to cite here. There are a few zones in the earth which are called blue zones. So wherein people who live there are have an average lifespan of, you say, 100 years. So the young generation is like 80s counted as achadu, you're young, right? So when there was a study done that wanted to see what are common in these blue zones where people are living so they're aging gracefully and they're living for longer years, they found all these things in common, whatever we discussed. So they found it that most of these blue zones are on hilly terrains. The physical activity is no brainer there. If you're walking on a mountain terrain, you're doing more than your steps, whatever you do, right? You're doing cardio, you're doing hip training. Most of them they walk there and don't use too many. They're towns, they are small villages, which are blue zones, right? Whatever food they are taking, they have small portions of a lot of fruits and foods and a colorful plate. Most of them have a very colorful and vibrant plate of food that they're having. Third, their community building is very, very strong. So almost all of them have either a voluntary group or a group that is dedicated to wherein they sit and knit every evening, or they sit and discuss things, wherein the elders and the youngers are grouped in a single group. So there's the intergenerational bond thing also working. Then uh, they also keep doing their work by themselves for a very long period of time, right? They don't use too much of technology because they're small villages, right? And there was an interesting study that happened wherein they replaced these few of these people from here and took them to America. And they followed them for a couple of years, like a couple of lot of years, and then they found out their lifespan decreased. So it's not just the genetics that's playing any role here. It might be like genetics always does play a role. I'm not denying the part played by the genes, but then lifestyle and your environment plays such a huge role in your longevity, in your brain health, in your overall health, in aging healthily, which cannot be ignored and should be taken full advantage of as well.
Yes, Dr. Meenal. Thank you so much for those wonderful tips which will enhance the whole lifestyle of the concerned person. So, coming from cognitive health to bones, I was very curious to know about bones health, Dr. Meenal, because I see in the old age people, there is a lot of decrease in the bone
Mhm.
strength. So we see that 70 years people, 80 years people, for example, unfortunately, if they fall down, the bone related fractures, they affect them a lot. It takes lot of recovery time. They face a lot of pain.
Right.
So how to maintain, especially in women, how to maintain the bone strength, Dr. Meenal? Can you please
That's
suggest
also very
any
that's
tips
a
for
very
that?
important topic actually. So the bone starts getting weaker. The mineralization of the bone that happens retains its structure, that starts losing its structure. The minerals start washing out, especially in women because of after menopause. So what happens is that the bones go weak, and we call it osteoporosis, right? So it is, first of all, it is very, very important to get diagnosed. Unless and until we are getting diagnosed, so there is a screening window which we follow. So all older adults should get a DEXA scan, wherein um, That's how we label osteoporosis, that your bones are weak, and we test them for this. And then all the females and the males as well should get older adults should get a DEXA scan done. And once it is done, there are some treatment profiles that are available, wherein there are injectables or calcium supplements or vitamin D supplements can be given after being diagnosed. That being said, a very important factor with osteoporosis comes is falls. So when you are at fall risk and you're osteoporotic, your risk of fragility fracture increases, right? So, and with fracture, uh, your 1 year mortality rate is really, really high, right? So, um, so it is very important at one point in time to prevent the falls and also maintain the bone health. So these both the pillars are very, very important for older adults. So for bone health, it is very important to have a very healthy diet which is rich in calcium, which is not just supported by dairy. There are other calcium rich products you can take, like apples, you can take bananas. There are so many fruits that you can use, and of course, dairy items. Sometimes, if your calcium is low, you can also switch to supplements, but of course, always take a doctor's prescription for the supplements. Do not vaguely treat over treat yourself with supplements including calcium and vitamin D, right? And once you found yourself deficient, then supplement yourself with calcium and vitamin D supplements. And if you're osteoporotic, if diagnosed case of osteoporosis, then there are injectables that options are available, wherein annually also you can take one injection, and it prevents osteoporosis, treats osteoporosis. And over a period of 3 years, again, you can follow up and see how your DEXA scan is turning up. And then that's how we can follow up with the bone health. Other than that, what happens is, when we were talking about the falls, we need to be very careful with our older adults. First, a balance training that we were talking about, the balance exercises that need to be done. And the other thing is fall prevention, wherein there are very few things, very small things that everybody can follow and prevent falls. One of them is one of them is your footwears. They have to be very careful with their footwears. It should be anti-skid. There should be no heels, and the footwear should be replaced frequently, especially the home footwears, right? And all your the areas of your home should be clutter free, the walkways, and the doormats, the rugs should be avoided because they cause a lot of tripping and skidding and falling, right? Then the other thing that has to be done is appropriate lighting of the areas. That has to be done, so that mostly what happens is people get up at night to use the washroom, there's no light, and then that's the most common cause of fall that is generally being seen among older adults, right? So there should be ambient lighting among uh, the house, especially at night. One small night lamp should be there. Then then if at all any imbalance is found or traced or complained of, should be evaluated, right, and should be treated, right? So these are some of the things which are very, very important. And some medication review is also very, very important. Sometimes what is happening is they're taking some sleeping pill which is causing drowsiness, and then they're using for the night time, getting up for the washroom, and then they fall. So the medication review is also very, very important to prevent falls. And sorry, and any use of previous steroids which is causing bone loss, that has to be seen. So if you're reporting any concern regarding your bone health, or you've had a fragility fracture before, or you're having a imbalance, do visit your physician or geriatrician for that matter, for a fall assessment. We do a complete fall assessment wherein we see all the causes, root causes, work on all the causes, and eliminate all the future causes for the fall, and we also educate them, right?
Yes. So thank you so much, Dr. Meenal. By interacting with you, lots of knowledge is gained, and you have really explained with full enthusiasm. And whatever you are doing for elderly aged people, you are calling them older adults. That I liked a lot. So that's a new terminology I found from you. Thank you so much for the valuable sessions. It was really great to interact with you, and thank you so much for your valuable time. So that is about today's episode, audience. I hope you really enjoyed it. Please take care of your elders, treat them like children. Please interact with them and have a great lifestyle for them so that nothing will be out of control. On that very positive note, thank you so much for giving us the opportunity.